So there's this star, Betelgeuse, right? It's a massive star that's getting old and about to go boom. It's not just any ordinary star, and when it does explode, it's gonna be huge. Makes you wonder how we should get ready for it, and how it'll change what we know about, well, everything. Betelgeuse is this bright red star in the Orion group of stars. It's always been a head-turner because it's so red and its brightness changes. Lately, it's been acting up, making people extra curious. This star is enormous, like 764 times bigger than the Sun. If it were in the Sun's spot, it would eat up Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. It's a red supergiant, basically in its final stage, cooling down after burning through its fuel. Betelgeuse is maybe 8 to 8.5 million years old. A baby compared to us, but ancient for a star. It was born from a stellar nursery as a hot, bright blue star, but changed over the years. It's constantly changing because of nuclear fusion and gravity. In its core, hydrogen turns into helium, which makes the star bright. But as it runs out of fuel, gravity makes the outer layers expand. Unlike the Sun, which is bright yellow-white, Betelgeuse is cooler and more reddish. And it's not always the same brightness. It dims and brightens, confusing scientists for years. It has cycles that astronomers have been watching since the 1800s. Then, in 2019, it dimmed a lot, catching everyone off guard. Its brightness dropped super quickly until February 2020. People wondered if it was about to explode or if it was just a weird thing. Since it is 725 light-years away, its light takes the same amount of years to reach us. Andrea Dupre and her team used the Hubble Space Telescope to check out Betelgeuse. They watched it for 3 years, looking at its outer layers. They saw it expanding and contracting, like a heartbeat. They used ultraviolet light to study its atmosphere and saw hot material shooting out from the surface. This caused a huge dust cloud. This mass loss from Betelgeuse was big, even for a star. It made people wonder if it was gonna explode soon. So, what does it all mean? Is Betelgeuse about to go supernova, or is it just a phase? Some people think it's close to the end, while others think the dust cloud is just blocking its light. Another idea is that changes in its outer layer are affecting its brightness. Astronomers use special tools to see that Betelgeuse's temperature dropped during the dimming. This suggested there was a huge dark spot on its surface. Turns out that the telescope finally figured that what probably happened was that the star had an outpour of super-hot plasma that then cooled and obscured the star's light. This plasma, which probably came from a massive convection cell, made the star look dimmer. Hubble's ultraviolet light observations helped piece together what happened. And, at the same time, telescopes here on Earth documented the star's southern hemisphere getting darker. This material then turned into a dark cloud, causing the dimming. The star shot out a lot of material, like 400 billion times more than usual, which made astronomers rethink stellar mechanics. So, what does this ejection mean for Betelgeuse and our ideas about stars? Stars like Betelgeuse usually lose mass slowly before they explode. This event challenged that idea and made people think its demise might be unpredictable. Betelgeuse is also cruising through space at 67,000 miles per hour, creating a bow shock as it interacts with gas and dust. Studying this bow shock tells us more about how stars change and lose mass. But here's the thing, Betelgeuse's surface has cooled and is less thick since the ejection. This raises questions about what's going on inside the star and what might happen next. What drives these changes and what might outcome? Also, it loses mass quicker than other stars, which is a mystery as well. Is Betelgeuse about to explode? It might happen sooner than we thought, maybe in the next tens of thousands of years. Meanwhile, there's also this supernova called SN 2023. It happened in the Pinwheel Galaxy, which is 21 million light-years away. It's the biggest supernova in the last years. An amateur astronomer spotted it and telescopes everywhere quickly turned to watch. This supernova got super bright, but then dimmed after just 5 days. There was a thick cloud of gas around it, which affected the explosion. It's important to know what caused SN 2023 because it will help us learn about star explosions and hopefully can correlate better with Betelgeuse. Scientists can use this info to understand how stars evolve. Scientists think that Betelgeuse may be consuming carbon. If so, the core could collapse in a few decades. However, another theory is that it hasn't reached the stage yet. Still, most people think it'll be the next supernova in our Milky Way, which might be 100,000 years away. The first confirmed supernova, dating back to 185 CE, took about 8 months to fade. Afterwards, there was SN 10006, which was the brightest of them all and visible all over the world. Then, also SN 1054, which created the Crab Nebula and was visible for 23 days. The last one we saw in our Milky Way was SN 1604 and was studied by Johannes Kepler. In 1987, SN 1987A exploded and emitted electromagnetic radiation. Betelgeuse might do a core collapse, which is when stars run out of fuel and crash. These explosions are energetic. When Betelgeuse goes, it will release a sun's worth of energy. The explosion will also brighten up Earth's skies. It will also change our understanding on dark energy. Betelgeuse, in comparison with other stars, will help scientists better learn the dark energy relationship to our universe. But could it hurt us? Luckily, space acts as a buffer. Betelgeuse is 725 light-years away, or over 467 trillion miles. That's a huge distance, and we should be safe and far away from the supernova. The Earth will be comfortably safe. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant and it's pretty famous. It's super bright and red, and it changes brightness sometimes, which is already interesting. But lately, things have gotten even weirder. This star is enormous, like 764 times bigger than the Sun. If it was in the Sun spot, it would swallow up Earth, Mars, and a bunch of other planets. It's a red supergiant, which means it's nearing the end of its life, cooling down and expanding. Betelgeuse is maybe 8 million years old, which is ancient for a star. It started as a hot, blue star, but it switched to the red supergiant we see today. This happened because of the ongoing fight between nuclear fusion and gravity. The star burns hydrogen, making energy, but gravity is constantly trying to crush it. Unlike our Sun, which is bright yellow, Betelgeuse is cooler and redder. People have been watching Betelgeuse for a long time. Some old writings mention it used to be yellow. Betelgeuse's brightness changes too. It dims and brightens in a regular pattern, but sometimes it does something unexpected. In 2019, it dimmed a lot, making astronomers wonder what was up. Was it about to become a supernova, or was it just a weird change? Its light takes about 725 years to reach us. Andrea Dupree, a researcher, used the Hubble Space Telescope to study Betelgeuse. She found that the star expands and contracts. She also saw material shooting off the surface really fast, creating a huge dust cloud that dimmed the star. Even though stars lose mass sometimes, this was a lot. People wondered if this meant Betelgeuse was about to explode. So, what does this dimming mean for Betelgeuse? Is it going supernova soon, or is it just a temporary thing? Some thought it was getting ready to explode, while others figured a dust cloud caused the dimming. Another idea was that something changed on the star's surface, making it dimmer. Astronomers looked at the star using different methods. They found that it got colder when it dimmed, which might mean there was a big dark spot on it. Eventually, they figured out that the dimming was probably caused by a big blob of hot stuff that shot out into space, forming a dust cloud that blocked the star's light. This stuff came from a huge bubble on the star's surface and cooled down as it moved away. The amount of stuff it ejected was massive. But what does that mean for the star? Normally, stars like Betelgeuse lose mass slowly. But this huge ejection made people think that it might blow up sooner than we thought. Betelgeuse is also moving through space pretty fast, creating a bow shock, kind of like the wave a boat makes. This helps us learn how stars lose mass over time. The star's surface has cooled down, and it is less dense since that ejection. Its rate of mass loss is also higher. Even after all this, is Betelgeuse about to explode? It could happen in tens of thousands of years. The recent mass ejection has made people think it might be closer to its end. Another big thing happened recently, a supernova called SN 2023X. It was pretty close, and astronomers got a good look at it. An amateur astronomer spotted SN 2023X. Telescopes all over the world studied it. The analysis showed that the exploding star had a lot of gas around it. It happened when a star collapsed, kind of like what might happen to Betelgeuse. Learning about it can tell us more about what's going on with Betelgeuse. Researchers in Japan think Betelgeuse might be burning carbon in its core, which means it's close to the end. Others think it's still earlier in its life. Most people think Betelgeuse will be the next supernova in our galaxy, but it might not happen for 100,000 years. Supernovas have taught us a lot about stars. People have recorded them for centuries. Betelgeuse will probably be a core collapse supernova. When it explodes, it will release a ton of energy. It will be a super bright light in the night sky. It can change how we see the expansion of the universe. Could it hurt us? Luckily, Betelgeuse is far away. It's not something we should be scared of.